going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Tottenham into the last 16. Safe passage. Easy does it today. 4-0. Some good performances out there. Gareth Bale coming on, getting a goal. Dele Alli, goal and 2 assists. Some other good performance in there. How do you see the game today?
Yeah, I think the day belongs to Dele Alli at the end of the day. He was the star of the show with his amazing goal and some really good assists. That must be a really good confidence booster, and that was a timely reminder of his qualities when we're struggling sometimes for goals in the Premier League. Hopefully he can come back and really make an impact. Obviously as well, the other headlines: Dane Scarlett, Mourinho confirming that he wants to use him if he's in charge next season. That is, he thinks he can be part of the first team. So he clearly believes in him and believes he's going to be a top player, which is very interesting for him to say. And obviously we've all seen how good the impact he's made whenever he's had minutes. He's really looked to make an impact and really looked to get involved. So that's good. Gareth Bale continuing his good run of form, getting a really nice finish, looking confident with his left foot as well. That was a proper confident Bale finish, cutting inside and just whipping it into that far corner with power and pace and accuracy. Really good finish. And Carlos Vinicius. And Eric Lamela, but Carlos Vinicius getting a brace, continuing his good run in the Europa League, so keeping up his confidence in that. And then, as you say, Eric Lamela, I thought was really good in that first half, especially, and in the second half. Actually, I thought he had a really good game, Lamela, and was involved in a lot of the good things that we did. And so nothing to complain about, but you have to just take into account the level of opposition, I guess. Yeah,
that's definitely for sure. I mean, you can't read too much into these performances, can you?
Yeah, but it's just good that we meant business. We kept up that good feeling. Or didn't keep up. We were trying to regain that good feeling. The players, the fringe players, tried to make an impact and tried to stake a claim for the first team. And that's all you can ask for on a night like tonight. And the youngsters getting minutes. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get Grandpa on.
I want to know Grandpa's thoughts.
Long time we've spoken after a win, Grandpa. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing
only a week, but yeah.
Only a week, that's right. I'm doing well. I've only got 14 positives.
Only 14?
No, I think it was a really, really good game, really interesting game. But what was so brilliant was some of our people that weren't doing so well were really coming back. Mm-hmm. I thought Lamela was just fantastic. He got my highest marks, but I wouldn't make him the man of the match, obviously, because Dele Alli has to take the prize. But seeing him come back and seeing him so determined, I think is going to make a whole difference to the team. And I think those two, both of them, really are coming back really into form, and it's great to see. Great to see Bale. He's continued improving now for the last 3 games. I'm sure they'll play him next in the next match from the beginning. The interesting thing is the defence. I mean, it was a clean sheet for one of the few times for us, and I think that I particularly like to note again Doherty. I thought Doherty also had a good game. His passing through the middle to the front is just brilliant. And he really, when he plays forward as a sort of wing back, he really is a good class player. I thought Sissoko played well. Again, almost as a defender rather than almost as a challenging defender. Mm-hmm. But he was there and he was holding the centre up. I thought that it was great to see that, because that's good for us next time. I know it's an easy defense, but nevertheless, there was very, very few negative things to say. I thought Scarlett was outstanding. I thought I saw Mourinho say that he's a diamond, and I it was great. And to get that assist, which was a very clever, fast move to get in there and get that to Vinicius, and also Vinicius as well. Seeing him play well is good, because I mean that he needed some games, and he's coming back.
Yeah. Would you say Dele Alli starts on the weekend?
I think he should do. He played most of the game, doesn't he? And I just as a question of whether he's tired. But I would be very surprised if they don't play him. He seems very, very fit. So I wouldn't be surprised if they play him. But they've also got some good people on the bench there to bring in as well that are playing well, like non-double. Jembol, yeah, and Bergwijn also had a reasonable game. But generally, as I say, lots of positives. We didn't hit the woodwork once.
Is that a positive or a negative?
No, it's a positive.
Losing our
I'd
record.
rather see it going in than in the woodwork.
Well, we lose the record though.
Yeah.
I want to know from you, because there's been a lot of talk over the past week or so about Mourinho being under pressure and Tottenham potentially looking at other managers, and I want to know what your thought on all that kind of talk at the moment is at this stage of the season. Is it premature, or do you think that Mourinho is in a bit of a crisis in terms of how the season's going?
No, I think it's absolutely rubbish. I think that he's got the it's interesting what he said after the last match was that there was some players that he didn't have control of.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows what he meant, whether he was blaming Levy or whether he was blaming the players. The players seem to think that he was blaming the players. I think he's a great manager. I think he's skillful. He's thinking about the problems he's got in terms of the number of games, and is trying to build around it. And he knows that his defence needs tightening up, and he's working at it. I'm still very pro him. I think he's a great manager, and hopefully he'll get a couple more people in the defence, because I don't think we need anybody else in up front. But Scarlett, of course, can be is a centre. Probably plays a bit better on the wing, they're saying, but he's a good centre. So I think they're okay in attack. They're pretty okay in the midfield as well, really. So it's only the defence, and I don't know. Rose is only out on loan, so maybe he'll come back.
He's not even out on loan.
He's on the loaning to under 23s.
He's still at Spurs. I mean, he hasn't even left on loan.
Oh, right. I thought he was on loan.
But his contract ends at the end of the season.
All right. No, I'm sure they won't play him, but we miss somebody like him. But Reguilon's, I mean, I know it's the other side, but Reguilon is. I didn't think he played that well, because I think he just wasn't match fit coming back from injury. But I think he'll be back in the opening game, in the next game.
And
also, you see that we haven't had Celso as well, so there's some. We're going to be all right. And Rondon as well. I mean, he's another good defensive player we haven't seen enough of. I know he couldn't play in the Europa Cup, but we might see him come back as well.
And as a super positive Spurs fan, Grandpa, I want to you said we can still come back and have a good season, but we're 9 points right now off top 4. We're off to 25 games. Obviously now into the round of 16 Europa League and in the Carabao Cup. What do you, in your opinion, we can realistically achieve this season? What would you think should be a realistic aim from where we're at the moment?
Well, what I would like to see us win the Europa Cup, because that puts us into the championship. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to see that, but I don't mind. I think we need to see one of those cups, and I think there's probably just an outside chance that we could get into 4, into the 4th place. And we just got to virtually win every match. And I think that's going to be very difficult, very, very difficult. And we only need to get a couple of injuries, which will really push us back. But I'd be hopeful. And I love what Mourinho says. All I'm going out there is to win and win every match. And that is the right plan. That's the right plan. And I like what he's saying. I think he's being quite open and honest, and looks good. So, yeah. I'm still hopeful that it'll be a season to remember, and it looks like we might get some crowds back soon.
All right,
to that.
It looks like they're going to be in for the last game of the season. So next year, it looks like we hopefully, with any luck, we'll be back to normal.
Yeah, and all these people that come and watch along from overseas can still watch along.
All right, thanks for coming on, Grandpa.
Nice one, Grandpa.
Yeah. Cheers.
See you soon.
Bye, see you later. Got a super chat here from Will Stewart. Says, Sim, how was Winks tonight? Just a bit of banter, mate.
He was all right. He was all right. I don't know why he's laughing. It's fine. No problem with Winksy tonight. I thought he was okay. And Hugh Ritzema Carter as well as Super Chat says, guys, close your eyes and picture us winning the Europa League. CL qualification, major trophy, massive, far better than the Carabao Tin Cup. Thoughts? Well, obviously, yeah.
Europa League has got to be the priority this season.
At this moment, yeah,
it's got to be.
You have to say that. We really need to give Europa League give her our all, but yeah, we just got.
Ticks all the
we
boxes.
don't want to completely fall away in the league. We need to keep away.
Yeah, of course, but Europa League ticks all the boxes.
It does. And at the end of the day, if we do end up falling away in the league and win Europa, it doesn't really matter. In terms of the goal at the beginning of the season was to get back in the Champions League, and that gives us a trophy and gives us the qualification. So. We've got to try our best, really try our best. But the thing is, the difference is there's a lot more luck involved in the Europa League than there is in getting top 4. So that's just a fact of the matter. But let's hope.
Yeah, but when you see the teams in it, you're not really fearing anyone. You think we can go out there and on our day beat anyone in this tournament?
Especially if Dele and Bale can come back into it like they're coming into it now, then yeah, for sure. If he can really give them Mourinho more options and something to think about, and instead of being cast aside, then it could really add a new dynamic to our attack. That's what I'm hoping.
All right, well, let's get Terry Silver on. I thought he was still in Ghost Boot, but no, he's here with us at We Are Tottenham TV. Brandon, how you doing, my friend?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Yeah, all good, all good. Great to have you back on. What were your thoughts on the game today?
Obviously, the only thing that was at stake here was morale.
Yeah.
Because there was, we had already had this in hand, but morale is very important at this point. So I thought we had a good match, and it was great that Dele got on the score sheet, that Bale got on the score sheet. I was begging for Bergwijn to get a goal. He's in desperate need of a goal. But I thought it was a good match in general. But is it Sim who be riding so hard for this fool? Please, somebody tell me, what does Harry Winks want out of it? How are you begging to be in this team and you're anonymous in a match against Wolfsberger? He was anonymous. And I
thought it was all right.
I don't think you can argue that.
I thought it was all right.
I barely saw him.
That's where he does his best work, Brandon.
And the thing for me is that it seems so easy for Harry to figure out how to get in the team. You can either operate in the mode of Højbjerg, you have the ability and you have the talent to do so. I don't know if you have the physical ability, or be like Sissoko. You have more talent and ability than Sissoko, you just don't have the work rate. Sissoko, controversial opinion, Sissoko's our best defender. This guy is in, yes, he's in the midfield, he's in the back, he's in the front. He is everywhere. He supports everybody on the right wing, everybody on the left wing. Like, Sissoko is an engine. That's why I think everybody should stop giving Sissoko flack, because even though his touch is a little off in the final third, it's normally because he drives forward, he looks up, nobody's around him, so he keeps moving forward. He looks up, nobody's around him. He keeps going forward, and then finally some people arrive, and he's kind of in a compromised position, and he tends to fluff the final ball. But you often see him always trying to drive the ball forward, and our team has an issue of helping each other. And I don't know why we have that issue. That's why you always see Højbjerg pointing at the ground, looking for people to come to the ball when he has the ball.
I would say, Brandon, on Sissoko, I would say that you were probably right. Maybe about halfway into this season, something's happened with Sissoko. In the last few games, he doesn't seem to be making as much running as he was previously.
I think it's probably because Sissoko, I would wager he runs more than anybody or as much as anybody else on our team. Like, because of how he covers everybody. That's the real thing. And I think it's pretty, I think we should celebrate Sissoko more than we do. I really appreciate Grandpa's positivity. I have no idea what he's talking about when it comes to Doherty. This guy, I don't see how this guy ever made it into the Wolves team. Every time I've seen the Wolves play, I don't see how this guy ever played for these guys. He's only decent when Bale is on, because he and Bale link well. There's really a comfort thing there. So I think that is good. Our defense is our defense. I wish he hadn't played Toby today, because I would prefer to see Toby play our Premier League matches. And I don't know if he's going to do that at this point. But Bale and Dele look good. I think Jesse Lingard lit a fire under Dele's ass, and I think we'll see them start. I think we're going to see Reguilon, Aurier, Højbjerg, and Ndombele, Dele, Bale, Son, and Kane this weekend.
Wow. So, and do you think if Dele and Bale can get back to, obviously they're showing a lot more hunger and a lot more quality than they have throughout the season. If we can reintegrate them into the starting lineup, do you think that could kickstart our season? Are you hopeful about that?
I really am. That was why I was happy about Dele and Bale today. It's the energy. It's the joy amongst them as a team that is really necessary. I think we really underestimate the energy factor with our squad. It's why, I'm like, we oftentimes play to the level of our competition. That's why when we score goals early, I'm always afraid when we score goals within the first 15 or so minutes, because then I'm like, I don't think we have the mentality to drive forward and kill the game. The way we should have gone out there and destroyed Wolfsberger just to show that you deserve a place in the squad, or just to show that we are going to play with intention every time we go. I don't understand our inability to do that. And that's the thing that, I think that's maybe about more players that have a different mentality. I think that's about making sure that everybody continues to buy into what Jose is building. I think that's what it's about, because our energy issues are a weird thing for me. Even in the middle of this match, like for a little while, we were just kind of, because we had it in hand, we just kind of hung out. And I was like, it's because you do that when you do have it in hand. That's why when average Premier League teams come out and hit us in the mouth, we're not ready to meet them with the same force until the second half, after we've conceded some foolish goal, or Sanchez has been, turned on his ankles into a pole or the turf or something.
Yeah, and talking on Mourinho, saying we have to keep believing in what he's doing with the team. There's been a lot of talk over the past few days about Spurs looking for potential replacements for next season, and if Mourinho doesn't arrest the slide in form in the league, then that could cost him his job. What are your thoughts on that? And you still backing Jose at this current time?
Yeah, why are you going to go get somebody else? Who are you going to get? Like, I would, if we had like been winning titles and we're always winning cups and we're always, then I would be like, okay, when this guy shows up, he needs to take this team and do what we've always been doing. But the whole point is that that's not what we've been. And Poch was a great coach, right? But he couldn't get us over the hump. You bring Jose in to rebuild your squad, to rebuild your mentality, to rebuild. And sometimes when you rebuild, that means you go down a little bit and then you come back up. But if he hadn't won all of the things he's won every single place he's been, then maybe I would be on the, all right, we want to do something else. But this guy has more experience. He's won everywhere. He's won recently. Like, people like to act like the cups that he won with Manchester United were decades ago. It was just the other day.
And then I mind you, the squad he had at Man United was very poor as well.
Yeah, that's why when he said that placing second in the league was one of his best results ever, he realized that he had a lot of weaknesses in his team, but he managed to maximize the best out of them. That's what David De Gea was like, the goalkeeper of the millennium when he was playing under Mourinho, because it was a cohesive effort. That's why our defensive record this year has been so good. It's a cohesive effort covering for weaknesses. And I just think you have to continue to ride with Mourinho. He is looking to get the best out of the squad under extremely unique circumstances. COVID, the congestion of matches. We haven't had Lo Celso for long periods of time. You have to condition Ndombele. You have to condition Bale. You have to condition the squad to be able to operate in a certain way. You can't just land and then make them do what you want, because when you do that, then people get exposed. And that's also why he doesn't call out and haul off the defenders the way he does, because they're the only ones he has. So he can't destroy their confidence. He has to keep selecting them, because he has to rotate them with the number of matches. He has to keep selecting them. So he can't destroy their confidence. He has to put his arm around them. I mean, they've been embarrassed sometimes. Dyer and Sanchez have looked embarrassing sometimes. And you shatter them if you treat them according to their actual ability.
Yeah, 100%. Right. But Brandon, absolute pleasure to get you on the channel again. Thanks for coming on, and I'm sure we'll be chatting soon.
Great work, guys. Take care.
Thanks a lot, Brandon. Good
Bye.
to have you on, mate.
All right. today.
Top analysis.
Yeah, let's go on. What amazing views he has.
Yeah, fantastic
Speaks
stuff.
really well. Let's go on to Brian Daigle.
Let's get Brian on.
Yes, Brian. How's it going, mate?
How are we doing? We okay?
Yes, we're
the hair grows back with each win, right?
I hope so. I want to be like Samson or Rapunzel, one of the two. Yes, let's hope so.
Exactly. The more the hair grows, the more points we'll win. You know, like Samson. You know, the stronger we'll get.
Exactly.
So, look, Brian, 4-0 win today. How happy for you for Dele Alli to put in a performance like that?
So I'm man enough to say when I'm wrong, and I slated him after the West Ham game on any social media I could do. I absolutely annihilated him. But today, it was like Eminem singing Guess Who's Back, because that was the real Dele Alli. That was him showing what he can do. I thought he was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought his goal and two assists as well really they justified his performance as well. They backed up in numbers, but it wasn't just that. It was his aggression on the ball. It was little things, making tackles, looking sharper and looking happier again, and a reinvigorated Dele Alli. Could that really add something to this team that we're lacking?
Without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, the one thing that impressed me the most actually was setting up the fourth goal. When we won the ball back, his alertness to everything and setting it up for Vinicius was just fantastic. And I said this when we signed Bale as well, and when Dele Alli, this whole situation started, that if somehow we can get them two right, no matter what stage of the season that we get them back, if they can both come back at the same time and be like what they've just shown, that is a huge, huge asset to the club.
So, I mean, with all the kind of negativity around the club the last couple of weeks, obviously 3 wins in the last 12 games or whatever it may be, with these two players, with the Dele Alli and a Gareth Bale really playing really well, does that leave you with positive thoughts for the remainder of the season?
It leaves me with very, very positive thoughts till Sunday. Then we'll see what happens Sunday. But no, I mean, all jokes aside, it really, really does. I don't know if you guys remember as well, that Gareth Bale goal remind me of a few years ago, you guys were probably at the game, a goal Harry Kane scored against Aston Villa, like in the last couple of minutes, just before we played Arsenal, where the ball passed it and he just smashed it. First time. Yeah, and it was like a carbon copy of that goal. And I think Jose's got to say now, we just need to attack, because that attacking front line will scare anyone.
Yeah, I completely agree, and especially if we can get those two players. But other players who came on today, Dane Scarlett, Mourinho's talked a lot about him in this post-match press conference. Obviously, he did get an assist, and he's talking about what an amazing talent he is and how excited he is for him, and that he thinks Dane can even be part of the first team next year as a striker. What do you think about that? Are you excited about him, and do you think he can really be a star?
I am really. I mean, I talk about this kid quite a bit, and I've not watched him all his career, but recently, like from last season where the big noise started coming, this guy is phenomenal. Whatever division you put him in, or under 23s, under 8, this guy is scoring goals for fun. I think he has a very, very big future. Kind of like the way he's progressing, kind of like when Michael Owen was coming through the ranks. But one guy I was so happy for today was Eric Lamela.
He was quality. He
has been, when he's fit and he gets a consistent run, not just his application and dedication, he is a fantastic workhorse. And I'm so happy for him. Like I am Dele, but Eric has just been fantastic.
Yeah, 100%. But just back on Dane Scarlett for a second, because like my brother said, they're going to see if he can play in the first team next year with Ollie Skip coming back as well for next season. How excited are you for these young bloods to be kind of bedded into the team, and how kind of important do you think it is? And in terms of Jose Mourinho, a lot of people are talking about, he never uses youngsters. I mean, is this going to become a myth?
I really hope so. I mean, I still have my friend Jack Ben going waxing and sending me highlights of what Skip's doing every week.
I still need to get in touch with him, actually.
And he is waxing lyrical now. We all know, and we've all been hearing about Skip. Scarlett coming in. I mean, it looks really, really positive. The youth that is coming in, and the great thing I love is they're Tottenham boys. They've been through the youth. They know what it means. Like, we've got a lot of players at the moment that we don't feel are fighting for the badge, or don't have the passion or the desire or the commitment. These guys, and around Højbjerg and around Kane and around a fit Dele, the sky is the limit for the youth team. I must admit, this game, I thought I was going to be positive coming on. I'm actually surprised how positive I'm being. But yeah, I think they have been absolutely outstanding. In the future, with just saying Skip and Scarlett is really, really bright. Forget when you mentioned Alfie Devine, who I think is the biggest one out of all three of them to come through. And he is a real diamond in the rough that's going to be a superstar. It's looking very, very bright, my boys.
I even like the look of that Niall John that came on today. I'd never heard of him before today.
For 1 second, I'm not joking, I thought Sessegnon was back. But I literally, I'm working and I saw him come on and I thought it was Sessegnon. Then I saw John. I thought, okay, it's not him. But yeah, I haven't, in all honesty, I haven't heard a lot about him. But from what I saw, he seems to have applied himself well. And if Jose thinks they're good enough for the first team or to get their feel around the first team, who are we to say no?
100%, 100%. So, yeah. All right. Thanks for coming on, Brian. See
No
you
problem,
again on Sunday, hopefully.
My hair will be a bit longer for the Burnley game, and all will be well again.
Exactly,
right,
100%.
looking forward to it, Brian.
Have a good one, Brian.
Good to see you, mate.
Cheers.
See you, Brian.
All right.
All right, who we got next?
I think it's Jack next.
Got Jack coming on.
Yes,
Hi,
Jack. How's it going, mate? All smiles. A nice 4-0 win. Can you read too much into a win like that today?
I think we can, because although we've been calling Wolfsberger a bit of a villager team, which, given where they're located in Austria, isn't a huge exaggeration, but we have to remember that this group, or this team, almost made it out of, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, almost virtually a group of death. Feyenoord, CSKA Moscow, and Dinamo Zagreb. I mean, those are at times in years past world-class teams who have produced world-class players. And so I don't know what they did to get out of that group. And it seemed like all that form that they possibly had has, gone away. But we have to give maybe some credit to ourselves or pat ourselves on the back, because we made them look like passengers and made them look like almost a training session match, despite them making it out of, I would say, probably one of the hardest groups.
What impressed you most today?
Dele Alli, because I was on Brian's page where I completely thought he was an absolute disgrace against West Ham. I wouldn't go as far as what Brian said after the post-match and saying I didn't want to see him in a shirt ever again, but it was on that level where he really was just playing these awful passes and flicks that were just almost disrespectful to his teammates, given the position we were in, and also his lack of effort and even energy. And then in this game, almost in typical Dele Alli form, he wins me over right away. And he has gotten all of his credibility back with me. And so even though Lamela, I think, has had, over the past few games, has had a very consistent showing and deserves playing time, it's, Dele Alli definitely won me over today.
And how encouraging was it to see the youngsters come and get some playing time, and to hear Mourinho talk up Scarlett about him being part of the first team squad next season? Would you like to see that? Would you like to see him in and around the first team squad, or do you think he's a bit young to be taking such a role?
In terms of next season, absolutely, especially with Ollie Skip coming in as well. If we are a team that can definitely rely on youth players, especially when they've been playing well. Let's give them the chance to show that they can be, in maybe a sense, the next Dele, or they can be the next top youth player that we produced. And especially in the case of Scarlett, what we just saw with Jamal Musiala do for Bayern. I mean, these 17-year-old English kids. I know Jamal Musiala is going through a bit of multiple nationality disorder, and that he can't decide between Germany and England right now. But it's obviously clear that these 17-year-old English kids are absolutely brilliant at the moment. And I think Scarlett deserves a position maybe next to Harry Kane, or coming off, in the 60th, 70th minute in games where we're comfortably ahead. I would love to see him play more, especially next season.
With Scarlett and Skip coming into the first team next year, is that going to potentially save us a lot of money in the transfer window?
Absolutely.
We're going to need a backup kind of defensive mid for Højbjerg. Someone's going to need to replace Vinicius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would be very easy solutions, especially financially. Also, given I think Spurs have lost, it was something like over COVID, they've lost, I think it was around 12 or 13% of revenue, and then on top of the fact that the people who want Jose out, if that were to happen and we were to fire Jose, I mean, imagine the amount of money lost. Yeah. And it would be unrealistic for us to be signing all the players then that we are expecting to sign if we were to get rid of Jose, and on top of the 12% loss. So having these players as backups who are club players, who are loyal, who will run hard for the team and will show that they have pride wearing the shirt, is crucial, as well as they could be great players in the dressing room. They could also be great for players like Harry and players like Joe Hart. Even though Joe Hart is not a longtime Spurs player, I think he's a great influence in the dressing room, and they could learn a lot from the players that are there. And it would seem a no-brainer to have them as solid backups, given their form for some of those positions that you mentioned.
And talking on Vinicius, that was his 9th goal of the season, 7 goals in Europa League. 6 goals in Europa League now. Do you consider keeping him for another season? Do you think he's been harshly treated in terms of the amount of game time he's gotten in other competitions, or do you think it's just the amount? It's just his opposition that's why he's scoring the goals?
I don't know if he's been harshly treated, and he's been harshly treated somewhat in the game time he's been given. I think he's been more harshly treated by fans because I don't think they understand the type of player or the type of play style that he is. He is very much a bully, typical number 9 striker who will take on a center half in the air and most likely win it, and will also hold up the ball with his massive strength and huge long body and be able to, in a sense, slow the game down for us. Obviously, his final ball really lacks plenty of times, but that's not what we're technically expecting from him. And I would also digress and say my opinion of Carlos is probably very biased in that I have always a very soft spot for the human elements of players. And I've mentioned it before, but his interview or his talk with Lucas at that local Brazilian restaurant, going over his life story, has won me over from the beginning. And I would probably follow him even if he were to leave Spurs and we wouldn't pay the fee to Benfica. I just think he clearly has undergone a lot in his life, and he's definitely won me over in terms of his personality and his life story.
All right.
I would also quickly say it's also great to see Brandon, a fellow New Yorker, given that class analysis from before. And then I would also like to say I'm trying to brush up on my knowledge of local UK accents. Is Joe from Birmingham? Does he have a? I know.
He's sitting,
I know
he's
this
sitting
might not
behind there laughing, but yeah, he's from Birmingham.
I know this isn't probably a popular opinion in the UK because I've heard this before, but the Birmingham accent or the Brummie accent is absolutely my favorite accent. And
you put a big smile on his face.
And I know that I've heard that's not a very popular opinion amongst people from the UK.
It is not a popular opinion.
You should know that at least here in New York, I think that's like it's the best accent, I think, in the UK. He sounds like Jack Grealish's little brother. Sounds like Grealish's little brother.
Brilliant. You hear that? You go to the US, Joe, you'll be a star.
All right, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much, guys. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Joe, repping the Brummie
accent.
That
Joe. You're getting kudos for your accent.
Very unexpected.
We had a super chat here. If I can find it. I can't find it because this computer goes too slow.
What can I say? Come on, Dele. Come on, Bale.
It's a Wolfsberger.
Go on, Wolf.
What can I say? Come on, Dele. Come on, Bale. Come on, you Spurs. How many guests we got left?
4.
Cool. Big up the Irish Hotspur in the comments. And now let's get on Jacob.
Jacob? Oh, hi, Jacob.
Yes, Jacob. How you doing, mate?
Hi, guys.
How's it going? You good?
Yes. Right, what about you?
Yeah, good, thanks. 4-0 today, safely through into the last 16. How important is that for you?
Yeah, it's massively important for me. I think what I saw today, especially from Dele Alli, was really good. And what especially impressed me was his I thought his tenacity to win the ball back was a lot better from the West Ham game. And when he got his goal, I sort of felt that a bit of weight got lifted off his shoulders that he was sort of maybe carrying around in the West Ham game, because he looked a bit like.
Oh, is he gone?
You still there, Jacob?
Say shy, but
I think we'll have to get him back.
All right, Jacob, it looks as though your internet connection is not very good. We couldn't really hear you.
Sorry, you cut out there, Jacob. Apologies about that.
We'll
try
a
and get you
super
back.
chat here.
Oh, we got Ariel on. He's live.
Ariel.
He's there. Hi, Ariel. Is he there? He's also crashed.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, you there?
Ariel, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, good, thanks. Smiles on our face, a 4-0 win. Yeah. But can you read too much into that performance against that opposition?
Yeah, well, that was the question I was asking myself basically. Great performance. It was a great performance, and especially from what happened in the weekend. So we had to win this game, and we had to literally all the French player had to, show what they're capable of, and pretty much everyone impressed. I was really impressed with Dele. Obviously, I think everyone was because he really impressed. He had 2 assists. He scored, which is good. But I'm asking myself whether we should take that we should look at the opposition and then say maybe they made him look that good. I don't know. Question mark. We need to ask ourselves that question because I saw him coming on against West Ham, and don't get me wrong. I feel like after the West Ham game, I thought the one that actually I said to myself, the one should start the next Premier League game should be Gareth Bale. So never mind whether he was going to start today or not. I knew Gareth Bale was going to start the Burnley game because he actually impressed when he came on in the Premier League. Because most of these players they've been playing well in the Europa League, but when you put them in the Premier League, they weren't really doing the business. But then Gareth Bale came on, and in the Premier League, he showed everybody why he should now start on that right side. And Dele, it wasn't the case for Dele on the weekend. So today he played really well. I was really impressed. But then I'm asking myself, is it because of the opposition? Is it because he started to play really well? So I'm a bit confused. But let's hope that he's actually picked up his form because I actually think when he's at his best, he's one of the best in the world in the number 10 position. So I really do. So if it's him really playing well, then that's only great things for Tottenham. But let's hope he can pick up that form as well in the Premier League.
Should this tournament be our main priority now, Ariel?
Listen, I think we should still take one game at a time. I don't think we should at this point. I don't think we should prioritize any competition because look, we're 9 points off the top four. Yes, it's really, really difficult. It's going to be very difficult because there's some big team in there. Yeah, but nothing is done yet. Listen, we win against Burnley. Couple of big teams are playing against each other in the weekend as well. They lose one for both, and it's gonna keep happening from next weekend onwards. So we have just to take one game at a time and see where we end up at the end of the season. I think it's too early to say that. I think by April, then we will be able to say whether we should prioritize this competition or that competition. At this present time, I think it's way too early to say that. I think we should just take a game at a time.
And what about all the talk about Mourinho and his job and him being in trouble and Spurs looking potentially at replacements already? When that kind of talk starts circulating, and it usually doesn't end well, but how do you assess it?
Yeah. I think. Listen, personally, I think that's nonsense. Listen, you can't. Tottenham Hotspur as a club been craving for trophies. You got this guy. I think people are forgetting as well. This guy only been in a job for a year and 2 months. It's not like he's been at the job for 5 years or something. I think sometimes when I hear people commenting on Jose, it seems like, he's been here for 5 years and then he hasn't done the job and you should just get rid of him. It's not like that. He's been at the job for 1 year. And if you have to compare with every other top managers that are managing club at the Premier League at the moment, the clubs, the Guardiola, in their first year, they didn't do nothing. They achieved nothing, absolutely nothing. And they were also on the brink of getting sacked. Pep Guardiola in his first season, he literally did nothing. And then he had to spend 200 million to replace his whole back four and his goalkeeper before this next season in order to do well. Jurgen Klopp spent 3 years, he didn't do nothing. And then the fourth year, when he bought Van Dijk, he bought Alisson, and then they start playing well. They start getting the result. They start winning. They also start winning trophies. So I feel when sometimes I hear fans talking about Jose, it seems as if he's been here 4 years. The result has been really bad, no improvement. But we've clearly seen in 1 year, he's improved the club. The club's been, even though it was for 2 weeks, the club's been at the top of the league. And the reason, and if I have to look at it back, the reason we've been at the top of the league is because he was playing his own way, because he was covering up for these defenders. These defenders been doing really. I can listen. All of our defenders right now, I can't pick our defenders and then be confident that we're gonna we're gonna keep a clean sheet. We did today, but against a big team, I cannot be confident we're gonna keep a clean sheet. This is how bad our defenders are, and it's not even me trying to make them look bad or anything. They're just that bad. But then we've been playing so defensive to cover all their mistakes, and this is what's been making us looking great defensively. We've been second or third best defense in the league. We're nowhere near, absolutely nowhere near the best defense in the league. We should just know that with the way we've been at the top of defense, just because Jose's been playing his own way and he's been getting results through playing that way. And then the likes of Sons, Bergwijn, they've been doing a lot of defending, which was helping all these defenders on covering up. Other than that, if we were exposing them, like playing highline, we were going to get slapped by any team, even the bottom of the league, because we're that bad. And another thing is, all I have to say is, it seems like Tottenham at the moment, every single mistake we make, we pay for it. So, you know, a team sometimes they make one mistake and then the opposition don't score. But with Tottenham, it's like you make one mistake, you concede the goal. This is how bad it is. So with that kind of mentality, it's really hard for the players as well to cope with it, because they know when they make a mistake and then you concede, and then for the striker as well, it makes it harder for them to score. And then everybody literally like not confident at the moment, and this is why we just have to, you know, take a game at a time and then just work with this player. Because my worry for the rest of the season is just that some of these players just to lose confidence and then us just going down the hill. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think these players just need to keep their head down. Jose just need to motivate them for the rest of the season. And then after that, from there, we can look what we can do. Right. It's going to be, we just need to take one game at a time. And Burnley's next, and then we just need to win that and see what's going to happen afterwards.
All right, Ariel.
Nice
Thanks
one, Ariel,
a lot for coming on, man. Always a pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you, guys. Great job.
Thank you, man.
Cheers, Ariel. See you in a bit.
Got a super chat here from Will Stewart. 9 goals and 7 assists for Lamela in the league in his last 100 appearances. How is that acceptable for a winger?
It's not. It's not acceptable for a player with Lamela's quality as well. He's got enough quality to be getting a lot more than that. Obviously, you know, he's always seems to be constantly coming back from injury and stuff, and that kind of stuff that also makes an impact. But yeah, look, I love Lamela. I think when he's fully fit, he's a good player. But unfortunately, I feel like it might be time to just this summer.
His contract's probably coming close to an end anyway.
Yeah, so I think at this moment, I think he's a good player when he's fully fit, but I think it's not acceptable that kind of return for a player for Lamela's quality.
Big thank you to Coachia Lala for a super chat. No texters with it, but big thank you. But it's a super chat here from Mo Raza. Thank you for that. My 11: Lloris, Sergio, Dyer, Toby, Doherty, Tanguy, Højbjerg, Son, Dele, Bale, Kane. Doherty does well with Bale, so keep it going. Hopefully they bring Bale back.
Doherty in the 11.
He's saying just
we
because
haven't
he
seen
works
we haven't
well
seen
with Bale.
Sorry,
He's just saying just because he works well with
yeah,
Bale.
we haven't seen Doherty and Bale in the league together, have we?
No.
Oh, we saw him in the second half against West Ham, and they were okay. But look, I want to keep encouraging Doherty because of I think of lately. I would say in the past 5 games, he's been a lot better than we saw before that. It's still not enough. But I don't want to say like he's just crap and he's rubbish when he's improving his performances, because I want that to keep happening. So I want him to be encouraged by that. But we do need more from him.
Yeah. Let's get Jacob back on.
Jacob's back there. Hi, Jacob.
Yes, Jacob. Sorry, I think your internet cut off there or something. Yeah. You can. What were you saying?
I was saying that I think I saw Dele have this weight that I felt he was carrying against West Ham, taken off his shoulders a bit when he scored that goal. And I was so pleased that it happened so early on. Otherwise, and I think it gave him a real boost, honestly.
Do you back him to start on the weekend?
I would, but I don't think he will, because you look at the midfield and I think he's got a good system going with Ndombele and Højbjerg, and I think he's sort of trying to play them back into their best form. So I don't see him starting, but maybe if
we're a little bit further forward, maybe.
Yeah, I guess he could. If Lucas plays and he isn't cutting it, up there, then maybe Dele could come on. But also, if I mention Bale quickly,
Of
I
course.
thought he was like, I think what's happened recently is he sort of discovered that he's not going to be that speedy winger that just runs past people like it's nothing anymore. He's sort of figured out now that he has to adapt his game and become more of a more creative winger, if you like playing the passes, scoring some nice goals every now and then, and like creating chances for other people as well. So I think he's had to adapt his game.
Yeah, I think Gareth Bale has definitely upped his game the last couple of weeks. That's last week, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure we can all say that. Do you back Jose to turn around the form, or do you think at the end of the season we'll be looking for a new manager?
Yeah, I 100% back him. Because, well, there are people saying Nagelsmann in, and that isn't the reason why I'm Jose in, but people are acting like it isn't a massive risk bringing in Nagelsmann. They're acting like we're bringing in some sort of Guardiola. Don't get me wrong, he's a good manager, but what has he won? We're after trophies. What has he won? He's come second at Leipzig, but after a while, I know we didn't sack Poch when we were coming second, but and I know I don't blame Poch really, but he finished second and we sacked him after. Like, it's not necessarily 100% guaranteed definite success. And with Jose, I don't think you're going to get another manager that can definitely deliver us trophies. And that's what we're after right now. So I back Jose.
All right. And what are you hopeful we can achieve from now to the end of the season? Is top four out of the question still, or do we still have a chance of that if we can reintegrate Dele and Bale and Europa League, Carabao Cup? What's your realistic hopes?
So I was listening to the post-match analysis on BT, and I heard Jermaine Genius say, Peter Crouch say, that the next period of games, maybe excluding Arsenal, Man United and Villa, there are 3 games in there. There's Fulham, Palace and there's Burnley. Those 3 games, if we win them, then suddenly they're must-win games, right? If we win them, then suddenly we're looking at maybe 6th or 7th. But then if we lose against Man United, Villa and Arsenal, then that is when it could start to go downhill from there.
All
right, Jacob. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Nice one, Jacob. Good to see you, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Good to see you, Jacob.
All right, let's get Marcelo.
Marcelo's there. Come on, Marcelo.
Come on, Marcelo. Always great to speak to you, Marcelo. How you doing?
We got LA, Dele, LA. It's been so long we sung that, right? I just don't think you understand.
He only goes by Bale. He's better than Ozil.
Better than Ozil. We got Dele. Hey, look, listen, man. We probably, we might not get too many opportunities to sing it. Hopefully, in the future. But man, I'm proud of Dele today, man. What a performance from the guy. It was what we needed, but again, we got to remember the opponent. I think that's important, but it's a right step. And honestly, but with Bale, I think after the West Ham, I think after this performance, Bale has to start. Bro, I got flashbacks. I thought I was like 12 years old again. You know what I mean? Just seeing him score that goal. I thought I was like 12 years old. I'm like, am I having like a memory or something like that? Did something happen to me? But that was a peach of a goal.
And
that's Gareth Bale in his prime.
And then you saw his man bun.
Then you see his man bun and you're like, oh no, I'm in the present. You know what I mean? But man, that was a peach of a goal from Gareth Bale. And I think he has to start. He has to start in the right. There's nobody, Stevie B for me didn't do it today. Yeah, and look, you know me. I love Stevie B. I didn't even get on his back for the Liverpool game when he missed those chances. But it's getting to a point where he has to be doing more, in my opinion. And even in Europa League, he's not doing enough. and I think there's guys that are just doing far better than them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but man, just seeing Bale and Dele Alli score those 2 screamers just brought me back. Just gave me nostalgia, man. That was fantastic. I love that.
I mean,
That brought a smile on my
that
face.
Dele Alli overhead kick was something special, wasn't it?
It made Rivaldo, look jealous, bro. He made my countryman look jealous. That was Rivaldo like. You know how Rivaldo used to like the bicycle kicks, man. He used to do it all the time with Barcelona.
Here's a question: Dele's goal today or Lamella's Rabona against Asteras or whoever it was?
I think Dele's today.
Dele's today, man.
Dele's today?
Dele's today, yeah. But that's goal of the season, in my opinion. That's goal of the season.
Was it better than Giroud's one yesterday?
I'll say, I'll say, yeah. Screw Chelsea. No, I'm not giving Chelsea any credit. No, it's definitely better than the one in Giroud's. Because the thing is with Giroud, he had no defense. Like the defense was calamitous in that game. They just completely left him open. Dele Alli had like 3 guys surrounding him, and he just dominated the ball and just, it was beautiful. It was beautiful, man.
Do you think
great goal?
Yeah, I agree. Do you think Dele and Bale hold the key to a revival this season?
Yeah, I think so. I was talking to David with this on the watch along and Matty Hayes. I said I think they're the guys that we need to depend on to step up, because if you look at these big games and even the smaller games now, they're catching on to our attack. It's Kane and Son. They're just man marking Kane and Son, and whenever Kane and Son can't produce the goals, I hate to say it, but it's almost like we're screwed. There's nobody else to produce the goals. It's almost like there's no spark, no bite when they're not playing. So we do need Bale. We do need guys like Dele to start stepping in and doing that in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Like we needed for them to do that in the Premier League, because the league form right now, it has not been good, man. And I know I don't even want to get to the negativity, because today is a win. And I like, you know me, I think we can win it all. I think we can win this competition. People counting us out. I mean, for peak's sakes, man, we're in the competition. You look what Chelsea did. They're 5th place. They just beat the La Liga top leaders. They not only beat them, dominated them. They had like 70% possessions. Atletico couldn't get a shot on target. They dominated Atletico. And you look at United. They dominated Leipzig, who were 2nd in the league. They dominated Real Sociedad. You look at a lot of these other teams. The Premier League is as strong as we've seen. Like this season, honestly, I made a tweet about it. I said I think honestly the top 10 in the Premier League could easily get into the top 4 of any other league. I think so. I think teams like Villa, I think teams like Everton, even West Ham, Chelsea, they're all so stacked. They're such good teams, and I think honestly, in the Europa League, as long as we can maybe avoid United and Leicester, like those are the 2 teams where I'm kind of scared of. Well, Leicester, we don't know if they're going to go out because they actually have a tight game, but I think as long as we can avoid those teams, we can go really far in this competition. I think we can take on AC Milan. I think we can take on Napoli and those other teams, because so far when I'm looking at these other leagues, they don't seem to be on par with the Premier League, quality wise. They don't seem to be. So I think we have more quality than they do. Like you got Zlatan, 38 years old, having one of the best goal scoring career in AC Milan and the Serie A.
True.
You got Cristiano Ronaldo at 36. I know people like to compare him to Messi, but I bet if we put Cristiano Ronaldo right now in the Premier League, he wouldn't be scoring as much, man. I'm telling you, like these other leagues are falling down, and the Premier League is only going up and up. And the top 10 in the Premier League, I'm telling you, it is stacked. This top 10 in the Premier League right now, it is stacked. This is the best league in the world, and it's full of killers, man. And you got to be up for it every game, and that's what I want to see on Sunday. We got to be up against Burnley, because or else they can chew us out. They did it to Liverpool, so they can do it to us. So the players got to be up for a fight, because we have seen in the Premier League today, anybody can beat anybody. There is no favorites. I mean, other than if you're Man City, obviously, right? But other than that, there are no favorites. Every game is tough. You got to be up for a fight. So today, hopefully, it was a big boost for the lads. Hopefully, it was a big boost for Bale. Hopefully, it was a big boost for Dele, and we can go out there, smash Burnley, smash Palace, smash Fulham. We owe Fulham another one, bro. Like Scott Parker. I I like the guy, but I just hate seeing his smug smile after that game. Like he did do us one, so we owe him one. But
we owe a lot
look,
of
man,
people one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It
we
wasn't.
do,
It wasn't
yeah.
just him, mate. It wasn't just him.
No,
We owe a lot of
yeah.
people.
Listen, next season we owe West Ham one. But
That's definitely true. Yeah.
what I think is we can definitely go far in this competition. I see a lot of teams that I definitely think we can beat, and we definitely have more quality than people like to look at the league table, but I just think the Premier League just has so much quality right now. So I think we can go far in Europa, and honestly, I think we should put all our baskets into Europa. I think the top 10 in the Premier League. I think honestly looking at this Premier League top 10 side right now, we have a better chance at winning Europa than getting top 4. Even if we focus, I think if we focus on top 4 right now, we have less of a chance than winning Europa League. I think that's how tough it is to get top 4 right now, because every squad's just looks so even. All those squads in the top 10 look so even, other than Man City and I guess maybe United. It's just tough. So put all our eggs. Let's try to get some European glory. We're in it to win it, baby. Round of 16s. I don't care who we get. You know what? I hope we get. You know what English side I hope we get, bro? I hope we get Arsenal. I
Yeah,
hope
I
they
knew you
go
were
through
gonna say that.
Benfica.
I knew you were
I
gonna say
hope
that.
they get. I hope they beat Benfica. I'm sorry, Jan Vertonghen, but I want to knock these smugs out, bro. I see them talking. I see troops going out there, talking, crap about that girl, who said about Fulham. Then man, the guy is 36 years old and he's, worrying about a teenager, bro. That man needs to grow up and take care of his kids. What a jokester he is. So I want to go and smash them, shut them up, bro. Teach them where they're on their place. They're not even top 10. They're jokesters, man. So I can't wait to get Arsenal. I want to get Arsenal around 16.
Don't worry, we're going to the Emirates in a few weeks.
Bro, we'll smash them up there. We'll smash them. We smash them up everywhere we go, bro. You know what I mean? Everywhere we go. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Thanks a lot,
Come
Marcelo.
on,
Speak to you soon, bro.
Come on, Marcelo.
Yeah.
It's always good to have you on.
All right, who we
The
got
hype
next?
guy.
All right, Simon, Premier Hotspur TV. Great YouTube content, by the way. Go and check out his channel. Some really good debates on there, and you see some familiar faces on there as well. But Simon, how you doing, mate?
How's it going, guys? How's it going?
Yeah, I mean, all smiles. 4-0 win today. Safe passage into the next round. How important was that for you?
Oh, it was good. It was good team. It was good team selection tonight. I'm glad he didn't try out none of the big guns. I'm glad he put them all on the bench and things like that. We didn't need them tonight. I think the performance was really good. Dele Alli got us going in the first 10 minutes. I thought, and then from then to half time, it was a bit slow from there. But the second half, we come out and we absolutely turn it up again. And I think Dele Alli was absolutely sensational tonight. Absolutely. Okay, people can say, "Oh, it was against the 6th best team in Austria," things like that. But you only can beat what's in front of you. But Dele Alli's performance absolutely fantastic. And I think slowly but surely we're seeing the old Dele Alli back.
You're saying that you can only beat what's in front of you, and Dele Alli had a brilliant performance. But can you read too much into a performance like that against opposition like that?
No, I can see where people are saying, Ben. I really can. And he needs now to step that up. He needs to be given a chance first to go into the Premier League now.
Yeah.
And this is what frustrates me. When he had that good.
Oh, no, you're there.
You're there, still there, Simon.
Hello.
Yeah, you're still there. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Right, that's cool. No, I was getting some feedback from somewhere else. That's all. I said the first leg. I thought we had a good game in that first leg, and then he didn't play him in the Premier League game. And that's what frustrated me. You know what I mean? And that probably got into Dele Alli's head. What have I got to do now? You know what I mean? I'm trying my best. You know what I mean? I was hoping now he's had a good game again tonight. Just hope now he gets picked for Burnley, and now he has to prove to Josie now he can come back into the Premier League and do it in the Premier League against Burnley.
Do you think Bale and Dele, they both hold the key to a revival this season, to maybe coming, an upturn in form? Do you think it's a lot of it could be down to them?
It could be, Sim. It really could be, mate. I think if we can get these two firing in the Premier League, that's the thing. What I'm saying, the Premier League, we've got to get these two into the Premier League now. And did you hear that, guys? I don't know where it's come from. No, guys, I cannot hear you.
You can't hear us? Oh, sorry. Sorry about that, Simon. Is David there? Is David Harris? He is. I can see a little light on his screen. Has he turned his lights off or something? Oh, so that's someone else.
Johnny, is there any light you can turn on there?
No.
Can't really see you.
Can't really see. Is anyone else? No. Is that it? Yeah. All right. I think we're gonna have to just end it. It looks like.
Johnny, is there any light we can put on? Otherwise, we're gonna end the show.
Unfortunately, we can't see you. No.
They said they can't hear me. Is my mic off? Oh, my mic was off. That's why. That's why you couldn't hear us. No, it wasn't.
You turned your mic off.
Huh?
You turned your mic off.
No, he did.
Ah.
My mic's back, people. Don't worry. My mic is back. Simon, are you there? Simon,
Hi,
are you
Simon.
there? All right.
Yeah,
Sorry
of course.
about that. I'm not sure what happened.
No, Ben, it's someone in the chat. There's a little. I think there's a little youngster talking. I think he's talking over us.
Oh, really?
We can't hear him
Yeah.
from our end.
We can't hear
it.
him on our end.
Right? No, it's sound now. I think he's gone out.
Right.
Where was we? Oh,
I was saying, could Bale and Dele be the difference in the upturn in form? If come the end of the season.
Yeah. Sorry, Sim. Yeah, I think so, pal. I think these two are now. I think these are key. I think these are. If we can get these two in form in the Premier League, I think these two are better than Lamela and Lucas, like quality-wise, ability-wise. And these guys can win you games, and I think that's the difference between them and Lucas and Eric Lalema. So personally, we've got to get these two playing in the Premier League, though, guys. We have to. Joseph now's got to start from Sunday. Hopefully, trusted Dele and Bale to start against Burnley, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they can perform and show Jose what he's been missing. Because Dele Alli looks like he's got a fire in his belly again, guys. Hopefully, that little talk with Jose. Hopefully, now he can kick on now and really fight for that badge now, and really makes a difference because we're going to need Dele and Bale for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And how exciting is it for you with all these kids coming on today? Obviously, Dane Scarlett as well being included in that, and Jose full of praise with him in his press conference afterwards, calling him a diamond. He's going to be part of the first team next year. Ollie Skip's going to be back part of the first team next year. First of all, it's going to save Daniel Levy and Enoch a few quid. And second of all, how exciting is it?
Make him a few quid.
Or, yeah, I mean, whichever way you want to look at it. But how exciting is it for you?
Very exciting for the future, guys. These guys are quality in it. Skip's doing a great job at Norwich. I've been watching him a couple of times. He's been really, really good at Norwich. I think he's been man of the match so many times, and I think the manager said, I think it's all Spurs fans. I saw that, yeah. Voting him for a man of the match every week. And you got Harvey White scoring for Portsmouth again
great header
last night. Great header, absolutely fantastic. And you got obviously Dane Scarlett come on tonight, and he looked hungry. He absolutely looked hungry tonight. Do you know when you get like someone who comes on, he just comes on for the last 10 minutes, just I don't know. It's only 10 minutes goes, I'm gonna get paid for this. But he looked like he was raring to go. He looked like he was pumped on that line. He loved it absolutely. And he's obviously, you can probably say he set up Benitez's goal for him. It was a great pressure. He pressured that defender, closed him down. He won the ball for Benitez, and that was a great finish as well. So, me personally, mate, the future's really good. It's really, really good. Absolutely.
Right. Simon, absolute pleasure having you on as always.
Good to see you,
everyone go and subscribe to his channel as well, Premier Hotspur TV. Yeah, so great. Thanks for coming on, man.
Ben, Sim, thanks for having us on, mate. Keep up the good work, because you are the guys, the real deal guys. Me, I'm just a little fish in a big pond, guy. Don't worry about me.
No, your content's absolutely brilliant. So if you don't know Premier Hotspur TV, do go and subscribe to him. Absolutely brilliant Spurs content. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much, guys. Absolute time.
Cheers, mate.
Is that it? All right.
All right, so that is it for the post-match fan show. It's gone from 2 hours of crying last week to 1 hour of absolute, just
calmness,
nice,
happiness.
calm,
You can be
positive
happy,
fan
I
show.
like it.
Yeah, so look, thank you everyone for joining in today. Thank you everyone for calling in. We'll see you tomorrow for player ratings and all the other content. Our next watch along is going to be on Sunday for the Burnley game, 2 p.m. kickoff. So join us for that one. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
Come on, you Spurs.
Spurs.